again, everybody. Chris Marlowe along with Paul Sutherland. Welcome to the 18th tournament of the year. And interestingly, Paul, it is the strongest tournament of the year.
Well, if you're a pro beach volleyball fan, mark down 18. It's your new lucky number. During the course of this season, a lot of the top players, including the very best player in the world at beach volleyball, have missed significant tournaments because of injury. Forget all that. They're all back. They're all well rested. A weekend off last year. And Chicago marks the last quarter of the season where most of the money is still on the beach. They want to start playing their best right now.
Karch Kiraly, the best player in the world, is back. He missed 6 weeks with a bruised kidney, out for 4 tournaments. This is a guy who technically this weekend, Paul, looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Well, he looks phenomenal. I mean, we haven't seen him walk on water lately. But, you know, one thing we have to watch for with Karch Kiraly is that he's 33 years of age now, and he could be a little bit tired. He was out 6 weeks, but 2 of those weeks, he was flat on his back in bed, and not even Karch Kiraly can come back that quickly. We'll have to watch that. Fatigue for Karch Kiraly.
Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes, they are the team that is favored. They are undefeated. Who are they going to meet in this one? Well, a little earlier, contenders bracket final, Troy Tanner and Wes Welch, Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Let's pick it up. Still a light open in Chicago. Stranger things have happened. We've seen better comebacks, but this one would be a doozy. Dodd and Whitmarsh are leading 13-7. However, Tanner and Welch trying to regroup themselves and come back. They're on the good side. They've got the wind in their face, and they'll serve it up hard.
Wes Welch has got to start blocking some balls. Turn the tables on Mike Whitmarsh. Welch so far with 1 step.
Whitmarsh looking strong and going cross court. Why isn't Tanner jump serving?
He's probably tired and really wants to make sure that they serve the player that they feel they can have the most success scoring against. When you jump serve and jump serve hard, you give away some accuracy and are just trying to hit the ball as hard as you can in the court. You don't care who passes it.
3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Plenty of time for a rally. But Tanner and Welch are going to have to combine good serving, some blocking, and perfect play in the side-out mode. So big Wes Welch will serve it up. He's got kind of a knuckleball jumper, which a lot of players find hard to handle.
Come on. Hurry.
Whitmarsh, nice shot.
Mike Dodd not trying to make it perfect because his partner doesn't need it in that situation. Scramble play, you have to make the best possible improvement you can on the ball. Dodd is just trying to give his partner something he can handle offensively.
Whitmarsh with a lollipop serve. Tanner right to Dodd. Whitmarsh out of bounds. Wow, a 2-man block up. Tanner and Welch, they couldn't reach it, and it went out of bounds.
Well, that was the kamikaze commitment to the 2-man block by Tanner and Welch, caught in no man's land. And Mike Whitmarsh now has missed a couple of point-scoring opportunities.
Hey, remember that play, if indeed the miracle rally comes. 2 men up, all you have to do is poke it in 900 square feet of sand, and it went out.
Hurry.
Whitmarsh sneaks it through. Of course, always a concern for Mike Whitmarsh is his conditioning. He's been very good this year. He's only on 1 tournament where he weakened a bit, and that was Atlanta when he said he was sick from food poisoning, but he hasn't had any of the problems in terms of heat exhaustion that have plagued him in the past.
Been doing better, playing fewer games.
Dodd with a dig. He's lined up in the angle. It's in there. Nice shot, Wes Welch.
Tanner and Welch are dead tired, but they're not going to go away. Dodd and Whitmarsh are going to have to earn it. Again, absolutely in perfect position cross court. Look at Welch with the left going down and just finds a way to put it away in the corner.
7 serving 13. Whitmarsh passing the ball awfully well for a big man.
You got to remember, Mike Whitmarsh has not been playing volleyball all that long, maybe 6 or 7 years total. Got out on the Pro Beach Tour and had some success because of his athleticism, but he's had the ability to play with some very good partners, Adam Johnson, Mike Dodd, to name a few.
Dodd digs another one, but it's going back over the net. Dodd is in the perfect spot. Whitmarsh is too. Tanner got a touch. It's an advantage when you're 6'7" at the net, but when you're playing defense and you can reach just about anything.
Yeah, if he was 5'10" that time, no chance the ball would have been out of bounds.
2 minutes, 48 seconds to go in the game. Tanner and Welch trailing Whitmarsh and Dodd by 6.
You, Mike. And line. Go.
Tanner's got one up. Oh! And going quickly was Welch. He thought he saw a putty tat, and he hit it into the net.
Just surprised him a little bit. Tanner was all over the ball, but, you know, the ball just zipped right past Wes Welch, and you know, poking the ball was a good play. Just got it in the top of the tape.
Dodd serving short. And Tanner sneaking it through. Score remains 13-7 in our contenders bracket final. Winner goes on to play the man now with 2 healthy kidneys, it appears, Karch Karai. Karai and Steffes undefeated so far in this tournament. Coming up in our championship final, Welch.
Come on.
Dodd.
Come on, W.
And Welch can't get there. Getting kind of tangled up.
Yeah, tired-looking play. You know, Chris, just no lift there on the play. He was there for the little tomahawk play over his head and couldn't lift up off the tiptoes to get to it.
I can empathize with that. 13 serving 7. Dodd digs it. This could be point 14. Coming up, Dodd. No, Welch is there.
3-point scoring opportunities. This match could well be over for Dodd and Whitmarsh, but Welch is right there. Dodd didn't obviously hit that ball very high over the top of the tape. Welch just right on the spot.
So Welch will position himself at the net. And here comes Troy Tanner. Gold medal in '88. Nobody there indeed. In the era of blocking, which started, I believe, back in 1988, when you hear nobody, you just take your rip. You take your best cut.
You start drooling. What's your favorite meal? For you, I know it's a big raw steak. So you start thinking about.
I start drooling at the dinner bell. Score still 13-7.
On. Go, go!
And Tanner gets it. You know, one thing, Tanner and Welch, they might not win this match, but they might make it very difficult for Whitmarsh and Dodd to come back. They're draining him of energy and keeping it going.
Yeah, Dodd and Whitmarsh need to get this over because the Kings, Karai and Steffes, are resting comfortably in the shade.
Could be a point. It will be a point as Tanner babushkis it.
The jump serve from Wes Welch starting it up, and maybe Dodd and Whitmarsh have let down a little bit here, thinking this one was in the bag, and Welch and Tanner, as tired as they must be, would go away.
And indeed, Dodd and Whitmarsh take a 20-second timeout. We're coming back to Chicago. The contenders bracket final continues after this. 13-8 with 2 minutes and 1 second to play. Dodd and Whitmarsh appear to be in good control. Their fans are rocking and reeling. Tanner and Welch appear to be a little tired, but they still have a chance. They're down by 5. They're on the good side, and they can make something happen if they can get the serve in and create some pressure.
Exactly, and they got to do it quickly, and not just because they're tired, but because time is starting to become a factor. Wes Welch going for the jump serve ace, or at least the tough one, coming out of the quick timeout by Dodd and Whitmarsh. Mike Dodd digs a ball here. You can bet that he'll find a way to put it away. Whit hasn't blocked a ball in a while either.
Tight set, trouble. Tanner jams it, and Dodd scoops it over to save a point. Tanner, and Tanner hits it off Whitmarsh.
He hit it at the same time. He did go like that, but he hit it exactly. No, same time.
Greg Krause defending his non-call of what looked like a fairly shaky set from Wes Welch, well off the net.
Tanner will serve, trailing by 5 still. Good serve, ace. Well, you don't see the tough floater very much anymore, but that one was right in the hubby wife area.
Well, players get into patterns. You know, hey, the best guys are jump serving. Everybody jump serves, but the good float knuckle serve, very tough to pass, and players aren't used to it.
Here comes Whitmarsh, and Whitmarsh chops it inside. So Whitmarsh with the kill, and Mike Dodd will go back to serve. Mike Dodd has had the opportunity to play with two of the most ferocious blockers in volleyball history, Tim Hovland and now Mike Whitmarsh. Tanner again. Tanner has a second win, Paul.
He's just kind of, I've been watching him move around the court, really pacing himself, conserving his energy because he's dead tired, and then really pushing himself for those few seconds while ball is in play.
Wes Welch, 13-9. Try Mike Dodd. And Dodd cuts it inside. So Dodd with a kill.
Dodd now with only 8 kills, been serving Mike Whitmarsh, but not as predominantly as Troy Tanner has been the target. He's received 32 serves. Wes Welch only 2. Make it 33.
Welch has been setting very, very nicely, too. He's been putting up some Metcalf sweet sets.
Well, everybody knows that the weakness of Dodd and Whitmarsh is they don't serve the ball tough. They don't score points quickly. They just lob the ball in play, expect Whitmarsh to block, Dodd to dig. But if a team gets in a really good side-out rhythm and gets confidence against Whitmarsh, it can make for some long games.
Biggest lead for Dodd and Whitmarsh was 7. Welch and Tanner have cut that to 4.
Go!
And Tanner is there, looking for a point. Tanner, yes!
We got a ball game. Dodd and Whitmarsh relaxed. They stopped playing when they were well ahead at 13-7 on the side change. Got to get down, got to get up, and then find a way to put the ball away. He is beat, but still in the match.
A 13-6 lead has been cut to 13-10. Once again, the winner of this one plays Karch Garai and Ken Stevis for the championship here in Chicago. Wes Welch and Troy Tanner have never won a tournament either together or on tour. They had their big chance in San Francisco when they lost in sudden death. Of course, Dodd and Whitmarsh have won 2 times this year.
Go, Mike, let's go.
Dodd and Whitmarsh, the only team to beat Ryan Steffes in a final. That was at Fort Myers several weeks ago. Wes Welch wearing his new booties to protect his feet from the heat of the sand. And I said, Wes, what does that say? It says vincere. I said, well, what does that mean? He said, well, it means victory, of course, in Italian. I said, well, good luck.
They're kind of cool. Tanner serving, trailing by 3. Whitmarsh. And Dodd hits it out of bounds. And suddenly, Tanner Welch are in the hunt. 13-11. Dodd and Whitmarsh have gone into the tank and given up 5 in a row. What a big point this is. 13-12 or 14-11.
And going back to the jump serve.
And Dodd might be gassed. Dodd. Oh, and it's off Tanner out of bounds. Good hit, Dodd.
And once you have lost your edge, once you've gone out to this huge lead and then you let down and you start thinking about the finals as opposed to the match you're in, it's hard to get that edge back and that fire back. That's the situation Dodd and Whitmarsh are in.
13-11. Tanner off his head and in! Right off Tanner's head.
Well, they say you have to learn how to cover as a hitter. Whitmarsh clamping. Look at this. Kabuski right off Troy Tanner's head. And everything, literally, from head to toe, going the way of Tanner and Welch.
58 seconds to go. Whitmarsh. Oh, the dig is up. Tanner going. He's got it. He's down and into the crowd. The same play that Karch Garai injured his kidney on as Tanner goes over the top. Time now, a big factor. 51 seconds to play. And a 13-11 lead.
Tanner and Welch, if they've got a 20 left,
Full timeout.
Tanner and Welch have 120. They're going to take a full timeout here after that long run.
We're coming back. 51 seconds to play. Whit and Dodd up by 2. Dodd and Whitmarsh are up by 2. Just moments ago, however, Troy Tanner trying to hustle up a dig.
He found it, he got it, and then Wes Welch not in position to continue the play.
Oh, and they call double contact on Welch.
It goes like that. No.
So double contact, perhaps ending the hopes of Welch and
go
Tanner.
like this. If it goes forward, I have no problem with it.
That's like waiting for Christmas 364 days and then canceling it.
No, the other one's above
Welch and
forward.
Tanner working so hard to get back in this match, and then the throw call.
Going forward, he hit cleanly. That one he didn't hit cleanly. Totally different set. They spun as much, just different rotation.
Tanner can't believe it.
That's a tight call at 13-11. You know, you have to be consistent from start to finish. But you know, hey, from my view, that set's okay. You know, I don't like the referee getting so involved at the end of a match. I don't like that call.
46 seconds to go, and Tanner still complaining. Now he's complaining to the umpire under the net, Marvin Hall, saying, why was that a throw? Greg Krause made the call. He thought there was some rotation, perhaps double contact.
That's too tight. That's too tight in any situation.
46.6 seconds remain. The loser, Mike Whitmarsh, 14, Troy Tanner, Wes Welch.
So Dot and Whitmarsh moved to the good side and look to be in very good position.
Did you see Mike Whitmarsh when the whistle blew? Both hands skyward saying, thank God. They couldn't get one on their own.
Now Whitmarsh will serve for the game.
Come on, Wes.
And it does not come over. So Welch and Tanner, they're down by 3 with just under 40 seconds to play. They've got to make something happen reasonably quickly.
They have taken Dodd and Whitmarsh to the limit, exactly what the Mikes did not want. They wanted a quick victory, go rest, take advantage of whatever they could, time-wise, to get ready for a big rematch with Curie and Steffes. That's by the board.
Tanner's got it up. Pretty good set. And Dodd gets it back. Whit going.
The long rally helps Dodd and Whitmarsh, and he's just going to keep the ball in play.
Welch cranks it. Got it up. Welch.
Phenomenal rally to end a very, very well-played, toughly played match, particularly by Wes Welch and Troy Tanner, and that's a shame. A throw on Wes Welch to take the opposition to 14, and Tanner down for the count and out.
It is game point once again. Just 15 and 5/10 seconds remain. That rally exhausted the chances of Tanner and Welch. Tanner, and it's off Dodd, out of bounds. So now the only hope for Welch and Tanner is to come up with a very good card hand. A couple of aces quickly are needed. And if there's a man that could do it, it is Wes Welch. Got to score quickly. Dodge should keep it in play. He thunders it. So that should just about do it.
Dodd and Whitmarsh are moving on, but they had the big lead. They could not keep their intensity and finish the match off quickly. We'll see if that hurts them in the finals in terms of their fatigue.
Time has run out, and there it is. Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, they were up at one point 13-6. It turned into a 13-11 struggle, but they finally pulled it out. 15-11. They'll meet Curie and Steffes for the championship here in Chicago. In Hungarian, Curie means king. In volleyball, he is even more than that. Indoors, Karch led the USA to 2 Olympic gold medals, the only gold America has ever won in volleyball. Outdoors, he's the most versatile performer on the beach. A winner of 90 tournaments, Karch is always the favorite to win again. But last month, groveling in the sand, he bruised a kidney and was forced to sit out 4 weeks. When he returned to action yesterday in Chicago, some wondered if a month without serious training would slow him down. Never question the king. Karch and partner Kent Steffes won 3 straight by a wide margin as Karai fearlessly flung himself around the court. Today in Chicago, there is bad news for the opposition.
I'm back.
Welcome you back to Chicago, Illinois, into the championship court. The stadium is going bananas. Whitmarsh and Dodd have advanced. The $100,000 Miller Lite Open here in Chicago, getting set for our championship final. Yeah, let's rock and roll. Hi again, everybody. Chris Marlowe along with Paul Sunderland. Let's talk about Karch, Karai, and Kent Steffes. How dominant have they been over the past 3 years? They've won 53 of 65 tournaments that they have entered. When they've been together, they've been great.
Well, they've been phenomenal. You ask the opposition, they say, oh, my gosh, they're back together again. But if you ask Kent Steffes, he said his prayers. He's got his partner back. This year, they have won 11 of 13 tournaments together. But Kent Steffes, without Karch, a 4th and a 7th. We asked the young superstar what it's like to be back with his more famous partner.
Feels great having him back, and it's shown by the fact that we're in the finals now. Struggled a couple weeks with Scott Akatubby. I thought we could have gotten better if we would have played together a little longer. We got stung by that one serve in Manhattan. I think that was the difference.
Kent Steffes, the happiest man in America this weekend. Now, what about the opposition? Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, have they had adequate rest, and can they do it?
Well, yes, they've had enough rest. They're in great shape, playing well. They won last week in Puerto Rico. And the big man, Mike Whitmarsh, is indeed the key. Karch Karai had some problems hitting past that block earlier in this competition. If Whitmarsh can block the ball, Dodd is all over the place defensively. A very competitive final.
All right, let's meet the players for the introductions. Let's go to the man here in Chicago, slamming Sammy Lagana.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the $100,000 Miller Lite AVP Chicago, Illinois. We're about to meet the players. Coming up on center court, the number 3 seeded team in the world. From San Diego, California, out of the University of Diego, the number 5 rated player in the world, Mike Whitmarsh. His teammate from Manhattan, San Diego State, the number 5 seeded player in the world, Mike Dodd. The opposition from Pacific Palisades, California, out of UCLA, Kent Steffes. His teammate out of San Clemente, California, and UCLA, the number 1 seeded player, Karch Karai.
1 game to 15 for the championship here in Chicago. It's a modified double elimination tournament. Karai and Steffes are undefeated. Dodd and Whitmarsh have lost 1, yet they will play 1 game for the title.
These two teams met earlier in the tournament. Karai and Steffes prevailed 15-10. But let's remember, Dodd and Whitmarsh are the only teams this year to beat Karai and Steffes in a championship. That was in Fort Myers, Florida, earlier in the season.
Kent Steffes to serve first. He has won 65 tournaments, over $1,300,000 in his career. He's a graduate of UCLA. We're underway. Dodd thinks it. Side out. Dodd is in white, Whitmarsh in yellow. Dodd with a black hat. Mike Dodd has won 62 tournaments in his career. As you look at Karai and Steffes on the receive. Out. Steffes, jam coming up. Whitmarsh got it over.
First round score at 10-9 to Whitmarsh. Confrontation high over the top of the tape. Just pushing, shoving, and Whitmarsh, why not? He wins the jump ball, the former basketball player.
Karai steps it through. Karch Karai is 33 years old, lives in San Clemente, California, has 2 gold medals, has won 90 tournaments, and has won more money than any player in professional beach volleyball, nearly $1,500,000. Dodd, Karch with a dig, Steffes can't get there. 1-0, Dodd and Whitmarsh lead.
Whitmarsh serving.
Whitmarsh, considered the best blocker on tour. He's 6'7", 210 pounds. He's won 4 tournaments in his career, most recently in Puerto Rico. Karch dinking down the line. Second kill for Karch Karai.
When these two teams met earlier in the tournament, Karai and Steffes had a big lead, and Karch Karai hit a lot of balls hard cross court against Mike Whitmarsh and got stuffed. And I asked him about it. He said, look, I had to remind myself how hard it was to get past that guy. Watch for Karai to move the ball around a lot more and be ready for the tap down off the score. Kent Steffes, Karch Karai have been serving extremely well throughout this entire tournament. Against the Brazilians, they were dead even and then went on a run for 6 or 7 aces. That's what we call the rebound winner for the tap down.
Kent Steffes.
Good. Oh, aces. Just a bomb down the line. It's one thing to hit it hard, which Steffes does. Just tattooing the sideline.
Steffes told me this morning that he's been working on a new jump serve for the past 5 weeks, and it looks like he's got a much higher toss.
Well, you got to throw away the old one and keep this one because the new one is fabulous. And I'm just not hyping it because of that singular ace. He's been serving like this.
Come on.
He's been serving like this the entire tournament. Just ask the opposition.
Mike Dodd to serve. 2-1 Karai Steffes. Working on Karch. Dodd with a dig. Whitmarsh. Not yet. He hit it to Karch. And Pinky Hat puts it away.
Mike Dodd, the phenomenal dig and chance to score, and Whitmarsh knows it, disappointed that he didn't crack that ball straight to the sand.
Karch Karai said that he has had no repercussions from the kidney. He feels pretty good. Hasn't bothered him this entire weekend. Line. Whitmarsh off Karch. Kent goes and gets it. What a set. And Karch kills it.
From 40 feet away over his head. The key is the bump set. Look at this, just trying to find something near the net. Mike Whitmarsh should make that dig. Caught him a little bit high. He needs to make that play.
Karai misses the jump serve, so Dodd and Whitmarsh, who are not known for their serving game, will put the ball in play. Now, Whitmarsh told me he's been working on his jump serve. He started off with like 3 a weekend. Let's see how he does. And Karch puts it away. A beautiful set by Kent Steffes.
Side out, Steffes, Karai.
So Karai's at the net, Steffes to serve. Steffes just turned 26 years old, lives in Pacific Palisades, California. Dodd, bump jump, and Steffes digs it.
Nobody.
And puts it away. Call the fire department. Steffes and Karai are eating it up. We're coming back 4-1, the Kings of the Beach. A bonus pool at the end of the year, the $750,000 Miller Lite Cup. Karai, Steffes, Whitmarsh, and Dodd, the top 4 players on tour battling.
If it stays like this, Kent Steffes will take home $100,000 and the Miller Lite Cup.
He's in the lead by virtue of Steffes finishing 7th and 4th when Karai was out with a kidney injury. Remember, Steffes had a chance to play in 2 other tournaments, but chose not to, hoping Karai would be back. He wasn't. So then he decided to play. Dodd to serve, 4-1. Karai and Steffes have looked great so far. Steffes snapping on the line. Steffes has played very well this entire weekend. His serving game is better, setting perfectly, and he's doing a lot of blocking.
Well, you know, I asked him, I said, did you lose some confidence because you did so poorly without Karch? He says, well, I'm my own guy. I've won 65 tournaments. But all the other players are saying, see, Steffes isn't as good. Anybody could win with Karch. You know, Steffes is certainly his own man, but I think he feels he's got a lot to prove, given the 4th and 7th the last couple of weeks.
Mike Dodd gets the spike down the line. And so Dodd will sit back and play defense. Mike Whitmarsh will charge the net. And the ace! Karai and Steffes have been vulnerable in one area of serving, the husband and wife area of no communication.
Karch has been out for 6 weeks, but he still has that play perfected with his partner.
Yeah.
Vulnerable up the middle.
Karch told me he worked on that play in San Clemente with his wife Janet, the husband and wife play. Over the top to make sure that it stayed in the repertoire.
Steffes, Karai, Kent Steffes.
4-2, Karai and Steffes. This is Steffes in the blue hat. Karai wears pink.
Good, Mike. Hurry line.
Whitmarsh. Karch blocks it. Whitmarsh. And it's off Karch, out of bounds.
Every chance that Mike Dodd has to get to Mike Whitmarsh on two. Whitmarsh is the bigger blocker. It's a quicker play. He will do that. Quick play near the net. Dodd will just bump the ball straight up in front of him to his partner.
Dodd with the serve. Steffes down the line he goes. Very nice shot and set. So Karai will serve. Of course, Karai in bed for 2 weeks. He told me he watched 15 movies during that time. He had the run of old movies, new movies, Civil War series, etc. Little cut shot. Nice shot by Mike Dodd. Mike Dodd certainly has a lot of respect for Karch Karai. He told me before the match earlier today that he thinks Karai and Steffes are the best team ever. Wow. Because of their balance, because of their strength, because of their athletic ability. Each player can do it all.
That's a big statement coming from somebody like Mike Dodd, who's played through a couple of generations. He saw the end of the Von Hagen, Lang, Selznick generation. He played against Smith and Stokos for all those years. He and Hovland arguably could have been one of the best teams of all time during their heyday. So I would consider Mike Dodd a pretty solid source for that kind of statement.
4-2. Karai Steffes up by 2.
And over there.
Dodd right to Steffes.
Come on, baby. Cut! Nice shot.
And the cut is good.
Bad set by Mike Whitmarsh really started that play. Dodd with a good pass, and Whitmarsh doesn't set with his hands anymore. He feels the officials are inconsistent, doesn't have confidence in setting with his hands. Might be called for a throw, and not bump setting the ball very well that time.
Steffes is really racking his jump serve. Whitmarsh. And it's into the corner. Other finishers today, Troy Tanner, Wes Welch took 3rd. Eduardo Anginho, Jose Loyola got 4th. And in 5th, Bill Bullion, Brian Lewis, Scott Akatebe, Eric Fenoy Moana. Line! Whitmarsh is up high.
I tell you, Whitmarsh at 6'7", long arms, but he jumps so well, can get his head up over the net, trying to take away Karch's line low. Steffes called line. You can see that it's open, but Karch just didn't roll it high enough.
Karai bounces that one. Big shot for Karch. Karai missed Milwaukee, Baltimore, Manhattan Beach, and Puerto Rico. Of course, when Karch missed Manhattan, he missed a chance to tie an all-time record of winning 5 in a row, held by Mike Bright and Mike O'Hara. Whitmarsh, Karch has it. Karch, Dodd is there. Nice up. Can he put it away? Nope. Karch is there again. And it's off Whit. Score now 6-3.
You know, a lot of hitters just choose to bomb the ball, but Karch is just so composed and so experienced, picking his spots, finding Mike Whitmarsh backing up, slicing cross court, and then slicing down the line to put the ball away and put a point on the board.
Timeout called, 6:24 to go, 6-3, the Kings of the Beach. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, the Miller Lite Open here in Chicago, tournament number 18. Karai and Steffes back together again, have a 6-3 lead. And Steffes goes and runs it down. He's got an open net, and Dodd digs him. And then puts it away.
AVP Pro Beach Volleyball.
Phenomenal play by Mike Dodd. Bad pass, saves his partner. Look at this. Just digging the straight shot from Steffes, working him off the block. That would have been an easy point on the board to go to the 7-3 side change.
Whitmarsh serving Karch.
Come on, I got it.
Steffes. Oh, he hit it into the
Tough play on 2 from the right side because the ball's coming over your head. And the unforced error.
Championship final, we're coming back. Tremendous growth by the AVP in terms of money, Paul.
Well, you can see it right there. 1966, virtually nothing, to 1994, over $4 million in prize money. What will it be after the Olympic Games? Pro beach volleyball in the Olympics for the first time ever as an official medal sport.
Dodd and Whitmarsh trail by 2, 6-4 to Karai and Steffes. 1 game to 15 for the championship. This is a $100,000 tournament, $20,000 split between the first team. Karai and Steffes won the most money on the beach last year. They both took home over $400,000 apiece. Whitmarsh, nobody up. And he hits it out.
First unforced error in the match. That one in the Whitmarsh column. No blockers there, salivating over it and shanked it long.
Steffes really putting on the pressure with his serve. He leads 7-4. Karch out of bounds. Mike Whitmarsh gets the kill.
Can hear Mike Dodd working with Mike Whitmarsh. Set the ball, then call out line or angle where the open area is defensively. But the defense and the blockers hear that as well and adjust their tactics.
7-4 is our score. And Karch cuts it out of bounds.
Karch Kirai using his favorite shot, slicing off the angle. Watch him open his shoulders to the cross court, hits the side of the ball and slices it off. Dodd's in the neighborhood, and he knows every inch of every court in America, and it was out.
That cuts the lead to 2. Karai and Steffes are ahead. Karch, and he does it again. This time he gets it inside.
See, Karch hits the angle shot from so high above the net that he can hit it so sharply, it's almost impossible to defend.
53 of the last 65 tournaments Karai and Steffes have played in, they have won. This is Dodd, and Dodd dishes it down the line. Dodd, a 3-time winner here in Chicago. He won the World Championship 3 times with Tim Hovland. He's feeling real good right now, he says. Whitmarsh with the jumper. And inside goes Karai.
See, there's the cross court again. Karch is on a roll right now, passing well, getting a good set, hammering cross court, hammer cross court, spread the court, make it as wide as you possibly can. Mike Dodd is almost there, but what happens is Dodd will move over to take away the angle, and Karch will have all the line he needs to continue to side out.
Steffes whacks it out of bounds. A couple of other important finishers in this one. Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos, who won Manhattan, finished 7th. For all you Ricky Ludes fans, Brent Frohoff, Ricky Ludes also in 7th. Karch, Dodd digs it. What a dig. And then Whit puts it right back over. Dodd saying he didn't like that set by Steffes.
No, what he said was, it was a chuck, yes. Jim Leonard, it was a chuck.
Not
short
that
for
bad,
up
Mike.
chuck. Thought that Steffes' set came out with a lot of spin. Steffes shaking his head no to Mike Dodd.
Whitmarsh, and Whitmarsh, a very impressive hit. Whitmarsh, a former basketball player who learned to play volleyball in his spare time down in San Diego, traveled in Australia in the late 80s playing for fun with a buddy of his, and then decided after his basketball career ended to come on to the AVP Tour, where he's done very, very well. Boy, that was very close also, and Dodd is going to erupt when this one goes out of bounds.
Well, what you want from an official is consistency, so if Jim Leonard is going to let that go, Mike Whitmarsh ought to take it as a cue and start setting with his hands as well. And I like it. I like it that it's interpreted more loosely. Let the big plays decide what happens.
7-5 is our score. Whitmarsh. Steffes goes and gets it. And Karch.
Mike Dodd would normally patrol in the back of that I formation defense and try to chase down this pokey. Steffes moving so well. Karch off the soft block, and pokey's deep. Right away sees that nobody's going to get to it.
Sand timeout taken by Dodd and Whitmarsh. We're coming back to Chicago. Christopher by 3.
What's the next thing, Dion? Soccer, anyone?
Must be a fan.
Powerade. It's not the old thing. It's the next thing. And that's a good thing.
Should have worn my helmet.
Powerade. The next thing.
Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, the Miller Lite Open here in Chicago, one of the premier tournaments on tour. This is the championship final. Karai Steffes, Dodd and Whitmarsh, 8-5, the Kings of the Beach. Dodd rips it. All through that last time out, Dodd was jawing at first referee Jim Leonard.
Still a little PO'd about his interpretation and non-call, but Jim Leonard said, look, that's as bad as I'm going to let it get. And he says, fine, I'll be watching.
If you're wondering, speaking of, if you're wondering why Dodd doesn't jump serve, he says, I don't have a live arm. I can't really do it. Steffes, oh, he got it up. Steffes dug it out of the sand, but then he can't put it away. What a cover by Steffes.
Just a spear sticking out the arm. Karch is stuffed here, not been able to get it by Mike Whitmarsh. And I'll tell you, after you set the ball, you got to remain active.
Karch goes over the top.
That's what's open because Kirai has stretched the court by using all of it, slicing off his cut shot, making Mike Dodd defend the entire sideline. It leaves the whole backcourt down the line wide open.
Karch Karai, who is hoping to play beach volleyball in the Atlanta Olympic Games, as we are just about 2 years away. 8-6 is our score. Dodd. And Dodd snaps deep. Dodd and Whitmarsh looking very confident right now.
Good offensively. Dodd's received 9 serves, 7 kills to his credit. Whitmarsh already with 5 blocks. That's a huge total early. Boy, where would they be without that?
Whitmarsh to jump serve. And it's off Dodd. Karch really getting some good heat on that one.
Well, if Steffes sets him 2 or 3 feet off the net, then Whitmarsh is taken out of the play in terms of being right on top of you and have a lot more comfort in swinging area.
8-6, Karai Steffes. Steffes is there.
There it is. Over it.
Whitmarsh is there also.
Half a dozen. Saving the point here. Steffes heard the line call from Mike Dodd. Scampered to that area. The court was all over it. Karch with a good set. And Steffes says, hey, I have solved Mike Whitmarsh. I feel comfortable and confident against him. Well, how about it?
Come on!
Big hit right there. Talking about that, Ken Steffes early in the year said he had trouble with Mike Whitmarsh on the block, but has since watched video and watched the TV shows and says he's figured him out, although Steffes having a little trouble today with Whit. Whit says I had to change it up.
Angle.
And he's right to Karch. Missed the call. That was another very close ball handling play, not called. And play continues. 9-6. Karai and Steffes have the lead. Want to learn how to dance? Come to an AVP Pro Beach Volleyball Tournament. Want to learn how to eat? Come to a Pro Beach Volleyball Tournament. Dance in Marvin Hall.
Everybody's always got a great view when Marvin is dancing. You can see him from 100 yards down the beach.
9-6 is our score. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland have a little fun. 4:06 remain. Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to get back in it. They trail by 3. As Dodd groups one in there.
Side out.
Dodd and Whitmarsh led 1-0, but Karai and Steffes have led all the way except for that. 5-3, 7-4, and now 9-6. Been a comfortable Karai and Steffes lead. Whitmarsh blocking has been a story. Dodd is there. Kent gets him back. Dodd again. Steffes got it. Hard to get a point against the Kings.
Well, hard to beat them, and you just saw the perfect example right there. They continue to scramble, work hard, and they are so well balanced. Exactly what Mike Dodd said. They can both hit, block, set, play defense. Both of them have a complete game.
3 minutes and 45 seconds remain. 9-6. The all-time leading winner on the AVP Tour, St. John Smith, who has gone off to play in the Goodwill games with Brooke Vandeweghe. Randy Stoklos is second. Karch with 90. Steffes with 65. Mike Dodd tied currently with the retired legend Ron Von Hagen and Tim Hovland. The who's who of beach volleyball, minus Paul Sunderland. Where do you get on that list, Paul?
Low, low.
Steffes with the serve. Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to hang in. Karch going to give me a kidney test. Oh, it hit the boom. It's out of bounds. Karai and Steffes are going in.
Hold on. It's a part. It is a part. Listen. That is a part of the court. Just
The ball hit our boom camera, quite frankly, well above the court.
If you hit the ladder, that is not. It's not out. I know.
Get out here.
I think Karch has lost a little bit of fire in the last 6 weeks.
Play over.
That is part of the court.
No, just like I asked you 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago.
He'll come over
Asking for tournament director Matt Gage to come out and make an interpretation. The dig is there. Kirai's running for it. I think, oh my gosh, he's going to go into the banners again. And there you see it, hitting the boom camera. Now, from the conversations that I have had, if the camera is out over the court, it will be called a replay.
Let's listen. They're going to replay it. Tournament director Matt Gage.
The boom camera is a movable object. It is ruled a replay. Interference.
Karch was chugging pretty fastball. I think he would have had it.
Oh, he had it. The question was he going to run out of room once again, like in Boulder when he injured his kidney?
Before the cameraman lowered the boom is what you're talking about.
There you go. He didn't lower the boom quite fast enough.
9-6. Dodd and Whitmarsh are behind by 3.
You know, and Dodd and Whitmarsh are hanging in. They have not gotten one break in this entire match. A couple of shaky setting calls. That replay right there, really doing a good job of keeping their composure. Now what they got to do is score.
Trailing by 3, Dodd and Whitmarsh. Dodd has the dig. Whitmarsh. Steffes goes and gets it. Dodd is there. Karch is there. Puts it away.
AVP
A couple of phenomenal plays. I'll tell you, put this one on your highlight reel. This is the rally of the summer so far for me.
Timeout taken by Whitmarsh and Dodd. A good one. End-to-end action. 3:15 to go. Karai Steffes up by 3. Only in America could they assign us a job like this, Paul. The Miller Lite Open in Chicago. Fans on their feet for that entire rally. One of the best for the summer. As Dodd and Whitmarsh chug back out. Karai and Steffes trail 1-0, but they've led the rest of the way. Karch to serve, looking frisky now that he's got 2 healthy kidneys.
I got it. Come on. No!
Out of bounds. Point, Karai Steffes.
Starting to succumb to the pressure just a little bit, and the unfortunate situation with some bad breaks. Unforced error from Mike Dodd.
Dodd and Whitmarsh are playing pretty well.
They're
just
playing.
Karai and Steffes are playing much better.
And very inspired, very determined volleyball. Steffes.
Point, Karai Steffes.
I said it was the final quarter of the season, and everybody wanted to start playing their best. Well, this is about the best that I've seen Karai and Steffes play all year. Would Karai be rusty? Forget about it.
11-6 now. Ryan Steffes by 5. Whitmarsh and Dodge certainly not out of it. No. They have to play a little more consistently and get over 11-9 onto the good side.
Well, but their biggest problem, and it's their Achilles heel, they don't score from the service line. They don't serve all that tough. They're not going to get quick points. They have to work very, very hard for each and every point.
Karch. He sizzles the pips of Mike Whitmarsh right in the Old Spice area. Hairs a tingling. And Karch looking like Karch. Steffes with a 5-point lead. Dodge punches it through. Next week, once again, we will be in Belmar Beach, New Jersey. We will have 2-day coverage for you, Saturday and Sunday. We invite all you fans to come out and see us in Belmar, New Jersey. Paul and I will be in early. As it goes downtown.
Side out. Coach Karai back to
So
serve.
Karai, who missed working out. He missed playing in the tournaments. An athletic guy due to the injured kidney. Whitmarsh. Karch one-hands it. And Steffes puts it away.
Point, Karai Steffes.
It's been that kind of match. You know, Karch's wife, Jana, just got back into horse jumping, and they bought their first horse, and the horse started hesitating. Karch said just wasn't a good enough athlete. That first horse wasn't a Karai. So they dumped him and went out and got another one.
I think the new one's named Buttons, but Buttons can move. Karai Steffes in command, 12-6.
Why go to the beach? Just to get beached.
Punch in, tenacity. Punch in, punch totally.
Into the pure, clean taste.
Punch is getting a little bit wet. Punch in, tenacity. Punch in, totally. Punch in.
A sport for all kinds of fans. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, the Miller Lite Open. Karai and Steffes putting on a clinic. Ace!
Ace serve.
Dodd and Whitmarsh were in this for a while, but some unlucky
13,
calls,
serving
unlucky
6.
breaks, and Karai and Steffes they've made their own luck most of the time.
You know, Karai and Steffes, they were playing so much more aggressively than they were playing before they left the tour. You know, Karch in bed, wants to work out, chomping at the bit. Steffes finishing 7th, chomping at the bit, wants to win. They're back together, and they've really put it together, at least in this championship final so far, 13-6.
Come on, Mike!
Well, I mentioned to a couple of the players in the tent yesterday, I said, you know, this break for Karch might really re-energize him and make him really be tough at the end of the season. They said, you got to be kidding. He's going to play better? What are you talking about?
He and Steffes have won 11 of 13 events they've played in this year. Dodd. Steffes defense. Karch going. Can't get there.
Side out.
Karch said he didn't do any diving until about a week ago, light diving. His kidney really tested a lot this weekend and responding.
Well, he's had his share of belly flops this weekend on the right side, which is the injured kidney side, and no ill effects.
Sand time.
Timeout called, 2:19 to play. Kings are up by 7.
Want to play some volleyball? Then get ready for Spike It Up, presented by Old Spice, the official volleyball tournament of the AVP on NBC. Men and women ages 11 and up on all levels of playing ability can compete. There's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, or 4-on-4 men's, women's, and mixed team volleyball competitions. Come on and spike it up. For more information on cities...
Stick shifts, automatics, foreign cars, domestic cars, 4x4s, even emergency.
Don't forget, next week on NBC, following the foot action NFL quarterback challenge, the Nestea Belmar Open. Whitmarsh got it! So Big Whit puts the big paws up. stuffs one down. Point number 7. We are going to come back after these words from your local station. Stay with us.
Are you still drinking the old thing? Try the next thing, Powerade. With 33% more carbos than Gatorade and a taste you can really slam. Powerade, the next thing.
The secret to a strong finish is endurance. High endurance from Old Spice. All day long it proves it's the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer, protects better. Now that's endurance. For the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick, demand proof. Get high endurance from Old Spice. You won't go far without it.
Hey, hang around locker rooms like these guys, and you're bound to run into athlete's foot, and it could get tough. See, you get that itching and cracking stuff, and look, boom, even burning. Now that's a really tough case, and that's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom, tough-actin Tinactin. You see, Tinactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. It's clinically proven. No wonder it's the antifungal most recommended by pharmacists. Hey, you got a tough case of athlete's foot? Get this. Boom, tough-actin Tinactin.
This is it. This is the year. It's gonna be tough, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna hit them high. We're gonna hit them low. We're gonna fight, fight, fight. We're gonna never give up, never give up, never, never, never. We're gonna beat them because we're the best. We're better.
Join Mike and me this September for the NFL on NBC.
That's why we're gonna win the game.
Capacity crowd watching the comeback of Karch Kiraly. You reunited with his partner Kent Steffes. They have the lead here at the Miller Lite Open in Chicago, 13-7. Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to come back. They're on the good side now. Chance for a point. Got it.
You know, Kiraly and Steffes have what appears to be a commanding lead, but Dodd and Whitmarsh have not played poorly. It's just that Kiraly and Steffes have been that good. Dodd with a phenomenal play, Whitmarsh with a good set.
Let's see if Dodd continues to go with Kiraly. He does. Hoping that Karch gets tired. We haven't seen that very often on tour. The one time Karch ran out of gas was in New Orleans, 1992, when they ran out of food in the players' tent and Kiraly cramped for the only time in his career.
A racehorse needs his oats.
Yeah, now he eats everything in sight in there and has little goodies in his bag just in case. Whitmarsh. And
there's a net. There's no under it. Right underneath the net. You both are right underneath.
There is no center line, and volleyball is supposed to be a non-contact sport. Well, most of the time. Steffes' leg is under, Whitmarsh's leg is under. Both of them collide, and Steffes is ruled into the net here. That could have easily been a replay as well.
Whitmarsh serving. 1 minute, 56 seconds to go. 8 serving 13. Dodd digs Karch. Set. Score!
Yes. Look at Big Whitty set the ball over into the boundary just with his radar up. He may have a new haircut, but they didn't shave off his radar antenna. Look at this, working so hard, been jumping for 2 days. He's lifting his leg, he's going, please be close.
And Karch calls timeout, so Karch might be a little winded. The Kings of the Beach still lead, but Dodd and Whitmarsh have a chance.
Okay, I've changed my game. The ball, the team, I like change. Change my underwear. Hanes briefs, Hanes boxers, Hanes flannels, stripes, Hanes cool comfort. Change is good if it's always Hanes.
Just wait till we get our hands on you.
No matter how tough you think you are, one opponent can bring you to tears. Sunscreen in your eyes. Fortunately, there's Coppertone Sport. Ultra sweatproof. Won't run in your eyes to sting you. Protects all day. Coppertone Sport. For those who don't take the sun lying down.
Just moments ago, Mike Whitmarsh spinning one up to his partner, Mike Dodd. Dodd and Whitmarsh trailing by 4 here in our championship final. against Ryan Steffes. However, Karai showing a couple of signs of fatigue himself. He called the timeout. He was huffing and puffing a little after that last play. Let's see if they go back after him. They missed the serve. Over him. Whitmarsh blocks it anyway.
Whitmarsh with his 8th stuff block. Dead legs. People said in years past that, you know, he'd get tired. He would get exhausted. But he's learned how to play with that and through it now. They're back in the match.
13-10 now. Karai, nobody up. Whitmarsh takes it. Big play here. Steffes spears it. And it's right on. Goodbye.
Phenomenal. Unbelievable dig by Kent Steffes. If Dodd and Whitmarsh are able to get to 13-11, we have got a match with 1.5 minutes left on the clock.
13-10 timeout.
Timeout taken by Dodd and Whitmarsh. Some unbelievable defense by Kent Steffes. I don't think he gets as much credit as he's due for how well he has improved as a defensive player. Of course, it's hard to get respect when you're playing with the all-time greatest player in the history of American volleyball. Most people would say in the history of world volleyball. He's the ledge. 3-time MVP, career money, plenty of wins, 45 in the last 2. The 3-time Old Spice King of the Beach, 3-time world champion before they canceled the world championship.
We got to build him a little bigger throne.
Yeah.
Couple of gold medals, a world championship indoors, an Italian league championship, and more money probably than any volleyball players ever made in the sport, at least in the last 5 years.
13 serving 10.
1 minute, 31 seconds, and 5/10 to go. Karai closing in on another victory.
That dig saved the match, I think, for Karai and Steffes.
Dodd and Whitmarsh need a side out right here.
Hey, line.
And they do. Whitmarsh and Dodd trailed at 1 point, 13-6. Then they got 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's where we stand right now. Dodd will serve. Still on the good side with the wind slightly in their face.
But it's not. The wind is not that big a factor, but it will help them marginally.
Karch. And Karch tapping it over the top.
Karch choosing not to challenge Mike Whitmarsh there, sees that Mike Dodd is committed to the cross court, and if he can just successfully get it over Whitmarsh, he's got it to the sand.
Karch serving ahead by 3. Nice shot. Dodd gets the kill. Dodd and Whitmarsh trailing by 3, 13-10. See if Whitmarsh goes with a jumper.
They're certainly trying to keep the ball on Karai. He's already been served 27 times. Steffes only 6.
Line! Come on, Mike!
Dodd spears it. Can he put it away? Not yet. Steffes digs another one. I think Dodd's a little tired too. Steffes, Dodd again. Whitmarsh. Yes!
AVP Miller Lite from Beach Volleyball.
Dodd digs number 12 and 13 during the course of that rally. Whitmarsh taking away so much court. What a soft little shot. And another sand timeout by Karai and Steffes.
Mike Dodd says he approaches defense like a hitter in baseball. He sets up for the fastball, and then he adjusts to the curve. One of the great diggers in the history of volleyball. He has won 62 tournaments in his career, and at 36 years old, not showing many signs of slowing down.
11 serving 13.
1 minute and 2 seconds to go. Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to tie it up if they can, and maybe send it to sudden death. They already played one sudden death match against Karai and Steffes this year at Fort Myers and won it. Karch is tight. Whitmarsh. Dodd is there. Whit up. Karch back over. Oh, they didn't call it. It's out. Wow. What a weird play that was.
Karai and Steffes were so preoccupied with the set of Mike Dodd, which looked pretty ugly, that they weren't even playing defense, and Whitmarsh accommodated, hitting the ball out of bounds. Again, a tough break for Dodd and Whitmarsh.
Scott and Whitmarsh trying to slow it down. 52 seconds to go. 13-11. Karchin Kent.
Mike!
That's big trouble. Kent.
Over! Mike!
And he gets it. Garay and Stevis with 48 seconds to go, lead by 3. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. And now Nestea presents the AVP Tip of the Week. Chicago, the Miller Lite Open. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Garay and Stevis have championship point with 48 seconds to go. Garay and Stevis are back. They win their 12th tournament of the year. And yes, Garay is back at you. We'll be back.
This has been NBC's Sports World, and today it was brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? By Old Spice Sensitive. It's alcohol-free to take the heat out of aftershave. By Coppertone Sport Sunblock. Provides all-day UVA and UVB protection. And by Nestea. Why just get a little bit wet? Plunge into Nestea.
The Old Spice winning moment. It was Ken Stevis saving a play. A Zulu dig, the spear job going out.